Okay, good morning. It is shortly after 5 a.m. and I am on the road. I have a very long drive ahead of me. I'm heading to an eastern access point, and I thought I'd get a good start if I could. Well, I just pushed off the access point at Acray, excuse me, into Grand Lake. I really like this campground, even for car camping. I walked a little bit, I had to go use the facilities, and the sites I saw are nice, private-ish, lots of them on the lake, and it just seems, I mean, this is August the 1st. I mean, it's a Tuesday, but it seems pretty peaceful here. On the downside, it's a 6-hour drive, and I have a 2-year-old, so probably not going to be car camping here anytime soon. But yeah, so I'm in. No major mishaps that I'm aware of. We'll see if I have everything when I get to my campsite. So the plan for today is across Grand into Carcajou Bay, a few little baby portages across McDonald Lake, and then one long low maintenance portage across McDonald. Did I say McIntosh Lake? McDonald Lake. About a 2K low maintenance along McDonald Creek into Turcotte Lake. That's going to be the one that's apparently not bad, aside from the first 100 meters or so, which relies on sunken, rotten logs to play Frogger with. So if you don't know what Frogger is, don't feel bad. It just means you're under 40. And then one more tiny little portage into Guthrie, and that is my home for tonight. So without further ado, I'm going to get paddling. So I just got into Carcajou Creek. So if I were to go right that way, I would go into Lower Spectacle, which was my original booking for tonight. Feedback from my forums was that it's neither an interesting lake nor an interesting campsite. And while the map shows two, there's actually only one. So I'm booked on Guthrie for the night. Although, to be honest, I slept terribly last night. I've been up since probably 2:30. And right now I wish I was camping on Lower Spectacle. One short little creek paddle and I would be on my campsite. Instead, I have a 3:30 and then a 2-kilometer low maintenance to do. And then another 165. Sorry, a 120. So instead of my day being over, my day in reality has barely begun. So the first trick with this 2-kilometer low maintenance portage as I missed the path because I'm looking at the camera is apparently the portage sign is about 25 meters from the creek, which will just be because nothing to pin it to, right? No trees. But apparently it's quite easy to miss. Now, me being in a kayak and thereby being a couple of feet lower, I can't see over the bank, so I'm really not even sure I have a chance of seeing the portage marker. So I'm just looking for any indications of a path. So I broke down and checked my GPS, and yeah, I missed it. And now I have the pleasant experience of trying to turn a kayak around in a creek. And I can't fit. Up here. Back in there. All right. It was here that I saw what looked like a promising opportunity. I tell you, I don't see shit. So Jeff, tell me where I am. Jeff puts me right on it, so this has got to be it. I'm gonna get out, stand up, see what I can see. So I wandered off in one direction, straight ahead for a ways and didn't find anything. Which it seemed like the right path. Like it seemed like there was a path. I didn't find anything, so I came back and then I tried that way where there's no obvious anything, and I go 30 steps and there's the portage marker. So this is all muck and mud and what have you, so I'm just going to drag the kayak loaded with all its stuff through this stretch, and then I'll get geared up once I can't drag it any further. So here we go. Getting a little discouraged at the moment. I went for a couple of walks from the portage marker is literally right there, and I can't find a portage. I can't find anything that's remotely like a portage. The brush is so grown up. There's no obvious trail anywhere. I'm just, you know, walking in any random direction basically, and yeah, it's frustrating. I'm gonna have a bit of water, maybe apply some more sunscreen. I probably sweated this off, and try again, because what else can I do, right? So I'm maybe 50 meters from the water. I mean, from the creek I came out of, not from the end. This is a total slog. There's no obvious path. I'm dragging my kayak fully loaded because the footing's treacherous and I don't want to have the weight of my pack or kayak on my shoulders. But dragging it is hard. So I think straight ahead is the path. I'm hoping once I get to the tree line, this is going to be a more defined portage, because I can't do this for 2 kilometers. I can't. Oh. Okay, I'm hunkered down in a tiny bit of shade here. Feeling so I'm still only like 50 meters from the creek. The good news is I've found the trail that way, then that way. And I walked it to the edge of the forest, and at least at the beginning, it looks like a portage. Like, it actually looked like a fairly well-traveled one, which must mean animals are walking it, because people sure ain't walking this. So that's the good news. The bad news is I still got to get my stuff there. I think I'm done dragging the kayak. I think I'm gonna set up normally now and double my stuff there. It's just the footing is still, I'm not comfortable having too much weight on my shoulders. the lack of sleep last night is definitely hurting me now, but I'm all right. You know, it's just frustrating that I've been at this for at least half an hour now, and I've gone 50 meters. So, my gear is to the woods, and now I'm back for the kayak. My lip is swelling up something significantly, and I didn't hit it on anything, so I'm really worried I got stung by something or bit by something and didn't even feel it, but I must be having an allergic reaction. It's really swelling up. Wow, there's bugs everywhere. I'm going to slide everything forward 10 feet so that I'm not in the sun. I'm going to open the emergency kit, take a couple Benadryl just to be on the safe side. It's really fat. Whew. That felt unbalanced. What am I caught on? Okay, I am ashamed and embarrassed to admit that I'm throwing in the towel. I can't find the trail again. I just scouted, you know, I'm with Jeff's phone, with Jeff's map on my phone in my hand, and it's telling me I'm on the trail and there's no trail. and I kept walking and scouting, and I walked far enough away from my kayak. I was starting to get worried I wasn't going to be able to find it. It's 3:30. If I could just get over this portage, Guthrie's a tiny little 160 away, but I'm a fifth of the way along this portage, if that, and I'm just utterly demoralized. Yeah, I mean, knowing I have to get back through all that crap to get back out on the creek is demoralizing as hell, believe me. So it's equally disheartening to be filming after throwing in the towel on this trip. I'm really angry at myself, to be honest, but I'm exhausted. After the sleep I had last night, I should have been smart enough to change my booking. I was trying to push it too much today. But I don't know. I mean, I just couldn't find the trail. I know it's there, but I couldn't find it. But it's little mistakes. So I'm going to show you something. This is the creek. I came from that way. Originally I went too far and came back, and then I pulled into this bay. So see where I am now, right here? Well, see that up there? That's where I went. I pulled up there. Now look here. There's the portage sign. By pulling in right there, which is 20 feet away, with all those, with all the taller saplings and alders and stuff there, I couldn't see that sign from there. So I went scouting off that way and that way and that way, and it wasn't until I finally came to my right that I found this stupid sign. But even then, I just had a terrible time figuring out how to get to the, even get to the bush. When I finally got to the woods, now that I know what I'm looking for, no problem. If I ever come this way again, I know what I'm looking for, I'll find it. But by the time I got to the woods, I was so demoralized. But, I felt like I was back on track. Had a well-defined portage, no problems. Got a quarter of the way into it, and I couldn't find the trail. Even when my phone said I was standing on it, I couldn't find the trail. And I scouted in about 4 different directions. And then just decided enough was enough. And the reality is, if I'd scouted a 5th direction, then maybe I would have found it, and maybe I'd be, well on my way over that portage right now and into my first night on Guthrie. Instead, I'm tail between my legs going back the way I came. So I'm back in McDonald's Creek, heading back the way I came. A failure, a disappointment. Ah! Oh, I'm mad. Maybe if I had just sat there for half an hour and recouped a little bit, maybe I would have found the willpower. It wasn't a failure of the body. I mean, I was tired, but It was just a failure of will. Damn you, Will. I just couldn't deal with, once again, not being able to find the trail. I just couldn't deal with it. Right now, I guess it's just a matter of getting back to the car.